Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Rasheen Cherisol, and I'm with my co-host, Abby Key. Introduce yourself, Abby.
Hey guys.
And we are back with episode 2 of Beyond the Ink. Now, we got a little hate on TikTok, well, we don't, but someone specifically that we interviewed on what their favorite tattoo on their body is, received a little roasting,
a little backlash,
just a little bit backlash. If you would be so kindly to do so and describe,
explain what happened.
That tattoo is, and what the people were saying in the comments.
I don't know if people were hating just because of everyone's tattoos in the compilation. We essentially did a TikTok where it was like stranger interviews on campus, and we were stopping people and showing their favorite tattoos, but a lot of comments were kind of flaming the tattoos guys. I thought it was a pretty fun video, but I guess the people thought otherwise.
I didn't think they hated it. I think it was more like
I think they thought the tattoos were pretty basic.
Right. Two specifically.
It was the first tattoo and then the sleeve.
Which one was the first one?
On the guy's shoulder.
The cyber realism.
That's why they roasted it.
Okay. And, excuse me, the other guy, they said he had a Pinterest sleeve.
Yeah. They said he had a Pinterest sleeve.
I don't know, you guys let us know. It's like a line on the shoulder, kind of a Pinterest tattoo. I feel like...
But I think that's the cool part about people with tattoos is I don't think they really care. I think they...
Some of them care. It's on your body.
I mean,
forever.
the first guy even said, he was like, I saw it and I liked it. It doesn't have to have a meaning. So...
He did?
Yeah.
Was I not listening?
You were right there when we took the interview.
Was I zoning out?
Maybe.
I remember the beetle with the
leg, yeah.
That made the face.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
But yeah, but people in TikTok comments are always pretty unfiltered.
It's gonna sound like weird, but I just love negativity.
Why?
I just love negativity. I feel like I was raised on negativity,
I think it can be fun if you can take a joke. Sometimes on TikTok people, which valid, they weren't going super in on this guy. If they were, we would have probably hid the comments.
I don't think we should do that though.
Why?
I feel like that's just gonna...
You think it brings discussion?
Yes, more engagement. If you see I do Instagram Reels, I don't really do TikTok. But it's just as bad as TikTok, in my opinion.
No, TikTok's way more I feel like people say anything on TikTok, whereas Instagram is kind of a little bit...
Really?
Kind of saying how they feel.
So that just proves my point even more. If you go on Instagram and you see the post with the most engagement, if you go in the comment section, most of the comments are just gonna be roast, hateful comments.
That's true. People are always gonna get hateful comments, but...
And it's gonna be 50K likes, 60K likes. Even a little post that's 10K likes, somebody who comments something that's roasting or funny in regards to that person is gonna get a K. I mean, people love
People
negativity.
do like the comments, but
it sparks engagement.
Specifically to this video, I just have a feeling that the people in the video probably just wouldn't care about the comments under the video.
I don't know, you can't speak for people.
I would just assume, because it's if you're gonna get something permanently on your body, I'm pretty sure you're getting it for yourself. I don't think you're getting it because of how TikTok feels about it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, though,
you have to be able to take constructive criticism. I don't know, but it wasn't necessarily constructive criticism. People were just saying how they felt, so...
But you're in your shoes. That you're speaking from your perspective.
That's true. Not everyone's like that.
Are you tough-skinned?
No, I'd say I'm fairly sensitive.
Really?
Depending.
On what?
I guess, like, the subject and the audience, depending. It kind of depends.
Okay, what if someone was like, you have a trash fit today? How would you respond?
If I really thought, like, I put a nice fit on,
Yes.
I would be like, I don't know, maybe a little defensive, like, you just don't see the vision. But, I don't know, if I just, like, threw something on, I'd be like, yeah, I know.
So in that instance, like, imagine you thought for months and months and months, like, yeah, this is the tattoo, I'm gonna get saved up money, and then finally got, I don't know, you kind of give me butterfly tattoos, but I know you said you're gonna get a key, but you kind of give me butterfly vibes.
No, I don't think I'd get a butterfly, but also the way my mind works is, if I have my mind made up about something, I love asking others their opinion, but at the end of the day, if I have my mind made up, there's no stopping me. I'm going to do it.
Right. We're not saying nobody's going to stop you, but in the slightest, are you not going to be a little defensive
Or like hesitant.
if someone was like, man, that tattoo is trash?
I maybe wouldn't be hurt, but I could see how people might feel defensive, like, no, I love this tattoo, like, this is... And, you know, like, more power to them. You should love what's on your body. That's my thoughts.
Righteous. I agree.
Personally.
I agree.
And make sure y'all are showing the Instagram some love. TikTok has gotten a little more traction this last week, but we still have an Instagram page up.
How's the IG doing?
It's doing pretty good. I mean, obviously we're like 2 weeks into this. But yeah.
But the TikTok and IG is not, it's not on the same level.
I mean, they're just two completely different platforms nowadays. Like, on TikTok you can post a video to a trending audio and it just will get views. Whereas, like, I feel like on Instagram you kind of have to find an account.
What do you mean find an account?
Like, you have to kind of, like, acquire an account. Unless you're just, like, chronically on your Explore page. Even then, it's hard to, like, get a fresh account on people's Explore pages, you know?
Yeah, their algorithm is messed up.
Yeah, just make sure you're showing the accounts some love.
Please and thank you. And if you don't, I'll find you.
No, we won't.
And I'll hurt you.
What are we talking about today?
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Miss Burton, I didn't mean anything I said. That was just a jokey joke. Moving on to our next point. So, my question is...
The first question.
Yes, in this generation, you know, tattoos are perceived a little differently. Rather, in comparison to how, you know, our past generations view tattoos, right? Nevertheless, there's still some type of stigma. There's still some type of connotation to tattoos and what they may mean or how people may perceive it, especially in work environments, right? So how do you think tattoos are perceived in this day and age?
As a whole, or my personal opinion?
You do both.
Okay. I feel like the overall stigma against tattoos is kind of becoming more of a way of the past. I mean, they're becoming pretty common. I feel like, I don't know, probably like 7 out of 10 people nowadays have at least one tattoo. It's fairly common. Whereas, like, my parents' generation, I don't think they had that many tattoos. But...
What are the generation? Baby boomers?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just joking.
Oh.
Or the Gen X.
Yeah, I'm like Gen Z. Or you're saying them. Anyways.
You're Gen Z, they may be Gen X. But I digress.
Yeah, anyways. We're getting on a tangent. But as far as workforce goes, I thought it was becoming a way of the past, but there are definitely some companies that are still very strict on that.
Really?
Yeah.
So what would it be like? No tattoos on hand?
A lot of companies don't want a tattoo to show in your uniform, depending on your uniform. Which, my personal opinion too, is I feel like men kind of have a little more leeway with that because they typically, in like business professional, they're wearing like long sleeves and slacks.
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes women wear dresses. So kind of less surface area to hide a tattoo, but there are still definitely a lot of companies that have become way more laxed about tattoo rules in the company. I think it's kind of silly. I think depending on the company's image that they're trying to maintain and how professional the company is, it definitely depends on what kind of tattoo you have. Obviously, if it's something like vulgar or just, I don't know, kind of unprofessional, I could understand that. Or if it's like a face tattoo, maybe I'm old-fashioned for thinking that. Did you know that a neck tattoo qualifies as a face tattoo in the professional setting? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I found that out.
That's tough. Because I have a lot of friends with neck tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got hired by this company. Thank God I didn't get tattooed. Like
You
I
got
said
a
last
tattoo?
No, like I said last podcast, I'm like very indecisive. Like sometimes I'm spontaneous, but sometimes I'm like an overthinker. And the only reason I waited to get a tattoo was, I guess, to just try and get a career first. But, yeah, no, I actually got hired by this company. It's a pretty big company, and they're very professional. And yeah, they wouldn't, even if you were like the best qualified person, I mean, I think they'd probably hire you, but you'd have to cover up your tattoos every day, and that would just be such an inconvenience.
Was it like a question that they just asked? Unprovoked?
After we got hired, yeah. We would, I mean, in the interviewing process, I'm sure they'd see some people with tattoos. One of the girls I was in training with ended up having, like, she was covered. She didn't have any face or neck tattoos, but she definitely had, like, hand tattoos, a leg sleeve. In her uniform, she had to wear pants, and she ended up having to cover her hand up with makeup every day, which was just super inconvenient.
Really?
Yeah, but in training, they did do, like, they'd pull us out one by one and, like, kind of scan us in our uniform before we were, like, given the contingent job offer. Like, we were hired, sent to training, and then, like, before we finished training, yeah, they would do that. But I think they're, like, maybe a little more lax, because sometimes I see people, like flight attendants with tattoos showing a little bit. I think those flight attendants have probably surpassed their probation period after becoming hired. But yeah, I think that is kind of a way of the past. I hope that's becoming something a little more kind of gone away with.
We can only hope.
As long as the tattoo's not, like, stupid. I mean, not stupid, but, like, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Or vulgar.
Yeah, like a really nice company is probably not going to hire you if you have, like, an insane tattoo.
Yeah.
Just out and about.
That's unfortunate, you know.
But you know what you're signing up for at the same time, though.
Yeah. That's very unfortunate, though. For her to be putting makeup on her hand every day is kind of crazy.
It is crazy, but she loves. That was her dream job,
Really?
so she loves it. She was willing to do something like that, and she
What
loves
job
her
was it?
tattoos. It was a flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
Yeah,
I know that must be fun.
it was for a pretty big airline.
Did you guys like snagging on the Briscoe cookies in the bag?
Huh? What'd you say?
You guys be snagging on the Briscoe cookies in the bag?
The Biscoff? No.
Really? I'd have been back there munching on the Briscoe cookies.
Biscoff cookies.
I'd have been munching.
No, you gotta go to work. You got a whole plane of people to attend to.
But there's definitely some moments where, you know, the flight attendants are no longer around.
That's true.
You know, in the back, chatting it up. You know, by the toilets too. I feel so sorry for y'all.
In the galley. Well, you can go up by, like, first class too. Well, I guess that's on both ends.
And it smells,
depending on
it
the
smells
aircraft.
good up there. It smells great up there.
In first class?
Yeah. Especially the soap that y'all use. That y'all put up there.
Sometimes. The hand sanitizer?
No, that's the soap.
That's funny.
But in the back, they be blowing up the bathrooms with no remorse. And then we could, as soon as I walked back there, I could just smell the ogre odor.
That's why you gotta upgrade.
I know, but you know.
Would you ever, there were a lot of flight attendants that would travel to see certain tattoo artists.
Really?
Yeah, like if they discovered like a pretty renowned tattoo artist in Germany and they liked their work, the next Germany layover, they'd have an appointment booked for
So
like
you guys
months out.
Layover?
Well, I'm just saying that's like I mean, if you're a flight attendant, you have free travel benefits, and people take advantage of those.
Okay.
And some people, it's interesting to see how people, what they travel for. But tattooing is definitely one of them.
Yeah. That's definitely something that'd be cool to do.
What are your thoughts on
tattoos? My thoughts are you can't have them. Not at all.
what?
Not at all.
You guys, he's lying.
Yeah, I'm lying.
He was talking to me 2 days ago about about getting a tattoo.
Yeah, I'm talking to an artist right now as we speak. But I think in a professional setting, there definitely needs to be somewhere where you draw the line, you know.
Caution.
Right, because it's presentation is everything, right? And if you're, for instance, a businessman or hospitality worker, and you got face tats and tattoos all over your hand that says FUCK GOB,
Something vulgar.
right?
You know, I actually really agree with that because going into that job opportunity, I was thinking, like, this is so silly. Like, someone can have a super tiny tattoo, but if it's not covered by their uniform, like, they're really gonna make that big of a deal about it, and they did. But when you think about, like, some of these big professional companies, they have a specific image to uphold. And if you think about, like, maybe their competitors, like cheaper competitors, like, you can tell a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some companies seem like they have their stuff together just by their brand image, the look of their employees, how put together everything is. So I think there definitely is a line. I don't hate that company for being strict. I definitely now can understand why they were.
But at the time, you had resentment towards them.
I mean, I didn't have tattoos, so I wasn't resentful, but I was almost just kind of like, what? Like, I thought this was a way of the past. This is kind of corny. But I now can appreciate the professional-ism aspect of it.
Right, and as a future business owner, you know, you should definitely implement that.
Like I said, though, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into before you go get, like, your knuckles tatted and, like, your face tatted. That's a pretty large commitment and a body modification.
But would it be a different story if you were the business owner and you have a face tat? Like of this huge corporation, say.
I'd probably go out on a limb and say that, like, I don't think the owner of that company would have a face tat.
You don't know though.
Because he's probably, like, in giant business meetings. He
Right.
has to uphold the whole company's image on his back.
Exactly, but boom. Check this out, right? Put yourself in somebody's shoes, right? And they create a business from ground up.
Mm-hmm.
However, during that journey, they didn't know it was going to turn out to be like reach the heights of Delta, Amazon, Disney, Google. They didn't as far as, but maybe of course they had dreams, but they didn't think it would be reality. So they get a face tattoo, and the more the brand grows, they're not really known for being the owner. I mean, of course, they're gonna know that's the owner, but he's not as prominent as the brand is.
I see what you're saying, but I also think at the same time, like, with companies that big, that have that big of an image, I think they, most of the time, ideally care about their employees and the fairness aspect of it. and like servant leadership.
Mm.
I think your employees would probably be kind of mad if they're expected to obtain an image that the owner isn't.
Yeah, but at the same time,
and I also feel like if the owner was super lenient about tattoos and just like didn't care, I think they would try and kind of let the two worlds collide in a sense of being lenient with tattoos and maintaining professionalism versus taking the more old school route of being more traditional.
In terms of not putting, as you said, degrees for makeup on the hand, in terms of that, right? You think they'll be more lenient on allowing to show hand tattoos, neck tattoos?
Yeah.
What about face tattoos?
I mean, they say people's like business is like their baby. So it's like if you are a super carefree person, maybe you're not even carefree, but if you're carefree when it comes to tattoos and how you're viewed because of your tattoos, I can't see you. I just would find that extremely unfair as an employee if you wanted me to cover up my tiny little tattoo and you have like, like a face tat or something as the owner.
Yeah. That's definitely
depending on how much I'm getting paid. I'd probably shut my mouth if I really liked the job and was getting paid well.
It's a very unique and wise perspective. You're a little wise. It comes with age, doesn't it?
Yeah. It was just my birthday, guys. I got wiser last week.
Yeah. Before then, she was as dumb as rocks. But
okay. That was a stretch, guys.
Again, just playing. I'm a troll and don't take anything I say seriously.
Everyone roast him in the comments.
Please do. So I can find you and you don't see, but I'm holding a fist to the mic. Again, just a joke.
Holding a fist to the mic.
Miss Burton, do not deduct points, please. If you were to get a tattoo, how would you? Is that like another step to your final form?
Yeah. That's something. Okay, that's last week we talked about final form, and yeah, like to me, placement is everything. Like the places I would probably want to get a tattoo wouldn't be upheld with certain career endeavors.
Right. So where would it typically be then?
Because I always thought like even something subtle, like I have really long hair, you guys, so on the back of my neck, that'd be something that I always thought would be covered. That job that I was just talking about, that wouldn't have passed. My hair's too long. They would have made me have my hair up at all times.
Are you gonna have long hair forever?
I don't know. I had like a bob like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, but
how short was the bob?
It was a bob. Right here.
Do all bobs have to be that length?
No. You can have like a long bob.
Wait.
Short bob.
But it's like everything's the same length. That's what a bob
Sometimes.
is.
No, that's like a blunt cut bob. There's different types of bobs, but yeah. Or even if you wanted like something on your arms, like past your elbows, like you have to commit to wearing long sleeves. We're in Georgia, it's hot. In the summertime.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to wear long sleeves as a uniform all 4 seasons.
But it depends on inside or outside.
Yeah. I'd probably want to be
It's
inside.
gotta be AC, you know. It's okay. Offices are usually cold.
This is true, but still, like, I don't know. I like versatility and freedom when it comes to my clothing too. So that's something I like to take into account, me personally.
Okay. I could definitely see you wearing a business suit.
A suit.
Yeah.
Well, how about you though? Do you think that, like, what would hold you back from getting a tattoo when it comes to maybe a company's perception of tattoo? Would that even hold you back at all? I guess as a man, it's a little different because
Yeah. But in certain areas, I want to get a tattoo. areas like my hand, my neck, my face, but any other place is free game. Free game. I don't know if this constitutes as my neck.
That would be covered. Your chest.
Yeah. So I would love a neck tattoo though. That'd be nice, but I'm not in a position to have one, so I don't want to risk it for the biscuit. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Not at all. But yeah, getting a tattoo very soon. Y'all be on the lookout. When Ray gets his tattoo, we're gonna put it on TikTok.
Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we film you getting a tattoo?
No.
Up close and personal?
Absolutely not.
Why?
I don't want to make a fool of myself.
Would you cry?
I don't think I would cry.
I don't think you would. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is.
But I don't know. I've never experienced pain.
I think it gets painful, don't get me wrong, but I think people can be dramatic a little bit.
Yeah. But to be fair, like the most pain that I've ever experienced was 2 experiences. When I broke my wrist and when I tore both of my meniscuses.
Both?
Yeah, but these were separate times.
Oh, I thought you meant at the same time. I was like, that's
No, that'd be crazy.
How did you walk? I'm trying to imagine that. Both. You'd have to keep both your legs straight. It was hard to visualize for a second.
It's not even anything about straight. It just hurts.
Yeah.
It's like stabbing pain.
Ouch.
Like throbbing.
But I think that's a completely different type of pain. Like, I think if you've never had a tattoo, it's kind of incomparable. I mean, this is like a needle puncturing your skin repetitively.
Yeah.
And that's like...
But I almost cut my finger in half. That's
Okay,
a scar.
but I do think that...
Do you see it?
No.
It's like look at both my middle fingers, right? And then...
He's lying, guys.
No, I'm not. Look.
Oh, vertical?
No, it's horizontally. It's gone.
I'm not seeing the scar, guys.
But look at both of them, right? Look at both.
I
of them
think what
together.
Rashim is trying to say is that he's gonna cry during his first tattoo
Okay,
appointment.
see, now we're playing games, Mr. Abby. This is, maybe I should have took my comment back. Maybe you're not wise. Maybe you're back to your old self.
Okay. He's being defensive. What's the next question we got? I can read it.
You want to read it?
Which one?
Number 3.
Let's see. What's the weirdest tattoo or tattoo trend you've seen? Like on someone?
Yeah.
Do you have an answer lined up for that? I'm trying to think.
I hate seeing people's faces on bodies.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's
Yeah,
really
like a portrait?
weird. Yeah. I don't like that. Like, I understand, people usually do it in remembrance of a person who just recently passed away a while back. I can't say anything too much about that, but when you get your idols as a grown man or grown woman on your body, that's kind of creepy. That's definitely kind of creepy.
Well, especially too when like the tattoo artist like can't execute it the way the person actually looks. Have you ever seen like a portrait done poorly?
No,
No.
I haven't.
I go to like music festivals and like EDM shows a lot, so I see a bunch of questionable tattoos.
Like with people's faces?
No. Last time I was out, at these settings, you socialize, you talk to new people, and my friend group was talking to this other friend group, and one of their associates came up, and he was so hype about this new tattoo he got. I should have taken a picture of it, but I was like, oh, let me see it. And have you ever seen Wawa Wubsy?
Wawa Wubsy?
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Never.
Look it up.
How do you spell it?
I'll look it up on the. I'm looking up a picture to show him. Long story short, this guy takes his, like, lifts his shirt up and shows us this tattoo, and I was kind of appalled, you guys.
Could you let us know in the comments if you know what a wobble web is?
I didn't know what it was. He was like, you don't. I was like, what even is that?
Oh, wobble websy. That sounds.
He was telling me it was a cartoon. That's what it was, and it was.
Why does it look familiar?
Right. I don't know.
I feel like I've seen it before.
Yeah, I don't know, my face probably said a lot. But you know what? That's people's decisions to get tattoos.
Yeah, man.
And some people don't care. Like, I know a lot of people that don't care either. I've had friends that have wanted to become tattoo artists, and they started practicing on their leg, and then they kind of dropped the idea of wanting to become a tattoo artist, so now they just got, like, kind of like scribbles. Weirdest tattoo.
I think the wobble websy one was.
Wobble websy was pretty peculiar.
It's pretty interesting.
I feel like when people have like lip tattoos, those get pretty weird.
Oh, like on their necks and stuff?
No, like on the inside of their lip.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but like most of the time it's like, I don't know, something they want hidden.
Yeah.
So you never know like what you're gonna see when they show you their lip tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, that is pretty weird. Like, you get a tattoo in a place where you have to force your body part to be shown.
I guess it's hidden. Well, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know if... I think that's probably the weirdest tattoo I've probably seen.
Which one was it again?
A Wawa Bubsy.
You're looking at these tangerines like you want one.
He's eating oranges, you guys. I'll take a piece. I feel like portraits aren't that weird. Like, I see what they were trying to do, you know? I just personally would probably not get a portrait. But I think if it's executed well, and you can tell who the person is.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I do have a really crazy story, you guys. I have a really crazy story. This actually is probably the weirdest tattoo I've ever seen. A family member of mine was dating someone, and this was just like she was a character. And I felt like she just always did like off the wall stuff. Long story short, it was one year and all of our family was getting together, and she had told us that her friend was becoming a tattoo artist and wanted to practice on her, and she got a whole back piece done by him. And she goes to show us what it was, and I literally cannot make this up. I can't make this up. It was the Kool-Aid Man busting through a brick wall on her whole entire back. That was probably but she loved it. That was like the part, like you kind of don't want to like laugh if people obviously like it, but yeah.
I mean, hey, look.
I think that was a pretty wild tattoo. That was pretty questionable.
What they like is their opinion. What I find funny is my opinion. So I think those two things are subjective, and I think we don't have time to, or we shouldn't, be even criticizing that.
You shouldn't care.
Exactly. If someone finds it funny and you love it, who cares?
Exactly.
My next question is, would you ever get somebody's name tatted?
Absolutely not. But would I let someone else like get my name tattooed? Probably.
But you wouldn't want it.
No.
It's kind of hypocritical, don't you think? You don't hear? You would just have someone walking around with...
I wouldn't tell someone to get my name tattooed.
But he was like, I want to get your name tattooed. You wouldn't be like, no, don't get it.
Depending on the person. If it wasn't someone who I wanted to be like... Well... I think you definitely have to be like I don't know. I guess you could go get someone's name tattooed without like them knowing.
Yeah. But I think that's just the dumbest mistake to make.
Does anyone have your name tattooed? Does anyone have your name tattooed?
No.
Like your parents or anything?
No. Not that I know of. Because folks be crazy sometimes, you know. Folks definitely do be crazy.
We should look up the percentage of like how. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Of how many people have
Covered up name tattoos.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
On average.
Wait. Before you look it up, let's do guesses.
Okay. I'd say probably like 70%. 60 to 70.
Percentage of people.
Get like name tattoos covered up.
Who already have tattoos of names.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go further than that. I'd say 85.
That's really high.
Yeah.
Let's see, guys. Interesting.
What is it?
While there is no exact statistic, a significant portion of people with name tattoos, particularly former partners, choose to get them covered up. Tattoo artists consider name tattoos to be one of the most common types of tattoos people want to cover due to relationship changes, making it a frequent occurrence in tattoo studios. I also feel like if you went into a tattoo studio and wanted to get a name tattoo, like nowadays, I feel like tattoos and piercers, kind of really want to make sure you want to get it. Sometimes they might not even tattoo you if they don't think it's a good idea, which I think is good because you never want to go back and blame your artist for something. But
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the statistics.
that's wild. There is no exact statistic.
Just significant.
It just says high cover-up rate for ex-partners' names. I don't know if there's ever been, I guess, like a study done on this. Oh wait, let's see here. No, but this is kind of interesting. 17% of those who have tattoos regret them.
Really? 70?
17.
17. That's pretty low.
This says, of those who have tattoos, 70% have more than one tattoo, and 20% have more than 5. 36% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 have at least one tattoo, and 72% of adults with tattoos have tattoos that are typically hidden by clothing. More women regret their tattoos than men do.
I wonder why.
Probably because we're indecisive.
Oh, that's a generalization right there.
It is. That's wild, though.
It is wild. You know what? I would go on a limb and I would get if I were to have a wife, because I don't know what the future holds. But again, she could be my ex-wife. But I would get one. But it would have to be like,
I guess if you're marrying someone or if it's like a child, it's kind of different than just getting like your best friend or like your partner's name.
right? Because absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's kind of living on the edge.
Too
But
much
hey,
on the edge.
Some people are into that.
They are. But this guy.
I'm not reaching.
No. Are you?
I don't think Abby's into that either.
Yeah, I think that's on the edge of just like doing too much.
Unless someone else wanted to get my name tattooed, but I would never ask someone to get my name tattooed. I would just kind of be like, hey, I guess.
At that point too is like getting my name tattooed. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it.
Really? I thought you'd be like, heck no.
No, because at the end of the day, it's like...
And I have to be the right person.
think it's flattering, you know.
It definitely is flattering if someone's like, hey, I want to get my name or your name tattooed on me. Forever.
Like, you made that decision to go get my name tatted, not knowing if we gonna last a week, a month, a year.
Oh, you're saying your partner?
Right. But I wouldn't get no best friend name unless he died, of course.
You should look up a Reddit thread about getting people's their names tattooed on them.
Well, like, who would?
No, like, oftentimes people go on Reddit and, like, share, like, opinions or, like, if they're about to make a decision, and people will reply.
Let's read
I feel like I can already predict, though, like, what people would reply. They'd probably be like, don't do that.
I'm gonna check it out.
I'm ready.
Yes. So give us a moment, y'all. Abby's gonna sing in the background as I look for these Reddit stories. In 3, 2, 1.
I'm not a good singer, but also, guys, check out our not our podcast. This is the podcast. Check out our blog. Got some pretty cool stuff on there. We post weekly. You can also submit your tattoo stories to be featured on our social media page. Has anyone been contacting through YouTube or commenting?
I did not check.
You didn't
but
check?
I assume no. Because I already got a notification.
Regime's position is being demoted.
To
Podcast assistant.
Assistant. As the host, I don't think I need to be getting disrespected by my co-host. Okay, so I'm not really seeing anything other than people giving opinions, saying never get a name, even a memorial is bad, names is always bad. I have my parents' pet names as tattoos, most regret I ever did for ink. In my opinion, tattooing a name never works out. I have a matching Wall-E Eve with my wife. That's kind of cute though.
What?
You know Wall-E? The
like
movie?
The Disney movie?
Right. And Eve.
Oh.
She's hating. She's making the face.
I'm trying to remember that movie.
You don't know that movie?
What?
Is the movie with the...
Wall-E. Yeah, I remember. But, like, I don't remember, like, the plot. I guess that's, like, you're not really getting a name tattoo. It's just, like, a matching kind of tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a write-in.
You found the story?
Am I the asshole for refusing to get a tattoo of my stepdaughter's name, even though I have my son's name? I have a tattoo of my son's name, which I got when he turned 1. I've never had a tattoo after that. Met the love of my life 22 years ago. She had a 4-year-old daughter, and I honestly truly love her like my own. Recently, my wife's best friend noticed my tattoo. It's on my chest, usually covered up, and she asked my wife if I had had a tattoo of her stepdaughter's name, or my stepdaughter's name. My wife said no, and her friend is convinced that this is a huge sad imbalance and is unfair to our daughter, etc. She told my wife this, and my wife agrees now, and thinks that I should get a tattoo of my stepdaughter's name in order to be fair to both children. I don't want to do it at all, and I keep saying no, but my wife thinks a real dad would get both names tattooed. I got a bit upset at that comment and told her I was a real bloody dad. I asked my daughter, and she said, I don't want a tattoo of my name, but if you are getting a tattoo for me, I want you to get a cat. I love her very much, but I'm not getting a freaking cat on me permanently forever either. My wife is very sensitive about the fact that our daughter isn't biologically mine. I absolutely 0% care, as my stepfather raised me, and he is the best dad in the world. I love my daughter, and she loves me. Am I the asshole for refusing to get this tattoo? What do you think?
I think he is, first of all, British. From just the word he used, bloody.
Yeah.
Right. Second of all, I don't like the comments that were being, used against him from his wife, saying he's not a real dad for a tattoo.
I don't think someone, and I didn't hear him mention if the wife had any tattoos.
Right.
I feel like if I was the stepmother, or if I was the mother and obviously had a blended family, I would understand that.
But then he said he loved her as her own as well, But that might have been an impulsive decision to get that tattoo.
And
So he might say he doesn't regret it, but deep down he may,
But it's also different. That's I guess technically both are your children, but I don't know. Someone wrote in response to this, and I kind of agree with it. It says, the tattoo is such a hollow gesture compared to actually raising a child for 26 years.
Yeah.
And I agree. I don't think getting something permanently on your body is a act of love in comparison to the role you play in someone's life.
His wife just sounds emotional.
Stereotyping women.
I said his wife. Look at you trying to cancel me on our second podcast.
He said that because she's a woman.
Episode.
That's interesting. Wow. Okay, this one's interesting. This one talks about face tattoos. My fiance got a face tattoo without talking to anyone. My fiance Kim, I have just learned, is completely insane. She took some days off work for this week, sick, and avoided seeing most people in person. She claimed she was feeling sick and wanted to stay at home alone. She was never giving me any indication that she would lie over the last 6 years that we've been together. No one in her family had any worries because she was a stable individual who would never do anything crazy. Well, she ended up getting a face tattoo. She took 3 sick days from work to recover from the fact that she got something tattooed on her face. She told no one of this plan beforehand. I have never in our time together talked to Kim about tattoos. She has shown no indication that she was ever interested in getting any at all, let alone a face tattoo. Her sister visited her because she was worried when Kim canceled meeting with her for lunch on the 3rd sick day and got the grand reveal of the face tattoo. She didn't tell anyone beforehand because she, quote-unquote, didn't want to be talked out of it and hid the results because the swelling and redness were so bad that we would react badly and not be able to understand the artistic meaning behind her tattoo. Kim is Asian American and she got Japanese symbols going down her forehead and under her eye. I don't know the meaning of them. I don't really care to know the meaning of them. Kim's parents are Japanese immigrants. According to her sister, who was nice enough to inform me of this whole debacle, this is a big no-no in Japanese culture. Tattoos have links to crime and are looked down upon. Her parents are besides themselves with this whole situation. Kim and I started to talk about it last night and acted offended and started to fight because I told her it was absolutely insane to do this.
I'm trying to envision.
Yeah, the forehead and under the eye.
Oh, so 2 separate tattoos.
I think a tattoo jump like that for not having tattoos and getting a face tattoo. Also, nowadays, I don't know a tattoo artist that would do that. If you have no tattoos and you're going in to get a face tat, they're super strict on hand tattoos, even if you kind of already have some tattoos. It's a big commitment.
Yeah, she's bold.
That is, and to not talk to. How would you feel if your partner got a face tattoo without you knowing? Would that change your perception of them, or would you not care? I guess this is our first question into
First of all, it's not my decision that she's a grown woman.
Exactly.
So whatever she wants to do, I can either say I don't support it, or I say I support it. However, the decision is not mine to make.
But what if she didn't tell you beforehand, and you just found out after the fact?
depends on how it looks. Depends on her security on her job.
Yeah.
How well did she think this out? And I don't think that situation would ever come to fruition simply because
For you.
right, because I usually choose women with head on their shoulders.
Well, that's what he said in the write-in. Or not the write-in, but on the post. He said that they've been together for 6 years. She's always been very stable, and he never expected this to happen.
Well, then he wasn't looking closely.
I don't think, sometimes people are a wild card, but at what point does that affect your interpersonal relationship with someone if they decide to get a tattoo?
But straight for the eyebrows and underneath the eyes.
It's a bold move.
That's like trapping tattoos. It's like.
But I think she kind of knew what she was doing by going pretty late. She was quiet about it. She snuck around, called out sick, and she said she knew that people would try and talk her out of it.
I want to know her thought process. Like,
I want to see a picture of the tattoo.
That too. I just want to know what she was thinking. You know what? I probably couldn't do it. What about you? What would you do? I feel like it's different.
If I was seriously dating someone for 6 years, it would be more of a principle thing. I mean, you have the second half of discussion of like what the tattoo is. It sounds like hers was related to her culture, but even in cultural context in this specific situation, tattoos are looked down upon, I guess, in Japanese culture is what the post said. But I would be almost offended that my partner didn't tell me, especially if I had been with them for 6 years. So I think that a tattoo on your face or something like that, especially if you don't have any tattoos at all, that's like a pretty big life choice for the individual. And if I was with someone for 6 years, 6 years is a long time. You're probably talking to your partner about all of your life choices, I would imagine, or at least big ones. In a sense, I might would feel deception about the choice. It's more principle based for me. I'd be like, why would you not
talk about it?
Yeah.
Communicate about it.
Because personally, like I said earlier, like if I have my mind set on something and I'm going to get it anyways, I know that. So like I might bring it up to people, bounce off ideas, but at the end of the day, if I want it, I'm still going to go get it.
Maybe the fact that she didn't say anything to anybody may mean she wasn't really solidified in that decision itself. It was maybe more of an impulsive decision.
Possibly. And the girl probably thought, after the reveal, people would probably just get over it. It would stir the pot a little bit, but I think ultimately it sounded like the guy who posted, the boyfriend, and her family was more upset that she didn't talk about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Just kind of hiding it.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Definitely a tough one.
That was very tough.
Me even trying to put myself in his shoes, I'm kind of upset for him.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd react, honestly. But like I said, I think it depends on the tattoo. I think it would just kind of catch me off guard if... What tattoo artist would let someone go in with no tattoos and let them commit to a permanent face tattoo? That's what I think if I was the partner, I'd be like, where did you go? Like, you didn't even think that out. Like, that's a large commitment.
That's a great question. However, there's definitely circumstances in people's life where, especially the tattoo artist, where he may be like, I'm running low on bread, man. This is a job. I don't really want to do it because she doesn't have tattoos, but I need the money.
But I feel like that's just the artist being professional, in my sense, because you never want a customer to come back to you and ever blame you for anything, because, you know, people can be with any kind of service, even if it's not your fault.
Well, professional to say no or to say yes?
Like, even when it comes to, like, getting a drastic change in my hair, if I go in the hair salon saying, like, hey, I want this done, I want to switch it up. If they're like, hey, I really don't think your hair is meant for this color, or I don't think this would suit your face, that would almost, like, build my trust with the hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that ultimately they have my best interest in mind.
But how do we know he didn't do that, but she was just persistent to get it?
I've been like, at least in the sense of piercings, I've been told to go elsewhere for certain piercings because I didn't have a lot at the time, and I was young. I used to want to get a dermal, like, right on my collarbone.
Oh, you're crazy.
Just because it was cute. But then I was 18 though. I was, like, waiting to get it. Now after research, those reject a lot. You get a nasty scar. You have to get them surgically removed because they're anchored into your skin. And it's a big commitment, just like a face tattoo would be. So yeah, I had definitely asked a piercer, you know, just like, hey, do you offer this piercing? And they were just like, hey, you're not going to get that here. At least from us.
Is that a coping mechanism for you?
What?
Piercings.
No. It's almost like a tradition. I like to get, like, a new piercing every year on my birthday.
How much do you have? Wait, I'm guessing you have 6. Every year on your birthday. You started when you were 18 or 16?
I currently have 10 piercings.
I'm way off, okay.
What'd you say?
I said 6.
Oh. I've taken some out. I've done a lot of them myself. But I have gone.
It doesn't hurt you?
It does. But I guess in the sense I like, it's kind of not as scary as a tattoo because you can always take it out, you know? You can always take it out.
You like pain?
I don't think I like pain.
Clearly you do.
I just like little different piercings. They're, in the same way, they're kind of like a conversation starter, like tattoos are.
Yeah, but do those hurt though? I feel like it's a different sensation. Maybe I don't know.
Surprisingly, the ones that I expected to hurt the most didn't hurt as bad as I thought they would.
What about the ones that you least expected?
Like this one? This is like literally my 3rd earlobe piercing. It took forever to heal, and it was so uncomfortable to sleep on. My hair always got stuck in it. But then, like, these ones, I didn't expect these to hurt. These hurt pretty bad too.
They did?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't expect them to hurt? It feels pretty solid up here.
Yeah.
So don't the most solid places hurt?
Well, also, when you say hurt, are you talking about, like, the initial, like, getting it done?
All
or
of
the
it,
healing
because I know
process?
the healing process hurts as well.
Yeah. Like this one, I got my tragus pierced. And getting it pierced, it was okay. It wasn't the most painful thing ever, but, like, the healing process was, like, a breeze. This hurt to get pierced, and it hurt to heal. But this one's, like, my favorite piercings. Because I feel like no one has it. My triple helix.
It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I like when it's kind of, I'd imagine if I had tattoos, it'd be kind of like, you know, when someone recognizes it, it's like, oh my god, like, yeah, I love that. It starts a conversation.
What about the nose one?
Oh, I guess I have 11. I didn't think about my nose. The nose really didn't hurt that bad. The initial piercing kind of hurt, but then, like, soreness was fine.
But I feel like, isn't that the one with the most tissue that you have to get through?
I mean, that's tissue, but this is, like, cartilage.
You're a trooper, man. You're a trooper. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are at time. Thank you for staying with us for this long.
It's been a ride.
Been a pleasure.
No, the pleasure is all ours. Anyways, this is your host and your co-host,
Rasheen and Abby.
No, I just wanted you to say your name, but it's okay.
You can say your name.
I didn't have to.
Okay.
They know who the host is. I gave myself a great introduction.
We're here. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, go check out Beyond.the Inc. on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for our podcast, obviously. And check out the previous episode we dropped last week. Also, check out our blog. Our blog link is linked to all of our social media accounts. Show some love on there.
Yes, subscribe, follow, like, leave a comment. Tell us that you love us. You know, tell us that you love our voices. You know, flatter us.
You don't have to do that, but we'll be back next week.
You don't have to, but you know, it'd be nice if you were to. You know, it wouldn't hurt nobody. You know, it doesn't cost a thing to love and support and say that, you know.
Everyone roast Rasheen in the comments.
Everybody roast Abby in the comments.
Alright, bye guys.
And remember, this is Beyond the Ink podcast.